What's up, blockheads? Today we're going to be working on the new Harley-Davidson FXDR, and we're going to be installing some new grips. This episode brought to you guys in part by Get Lowered Cycles. Other videos that are going to be incoming. We've got this one, which is going to be a how to install grips on a new Softail. We're also going to have how-to video incoming for how to install some pegs, as well as a toe peg shifter. So a couple videos coming out. Like I said, brought to you guys in part by Get Lowered Cycles. Link down in the description below. Let's get to it. Installing some new grips. So this is going to be a relatively quick video because this is a pretty easy installation, especially with a bike like most of the new Softails are, which are fly-by-wire. So what that means is there aren't throttle cables that are going into it, so you don't have to run two throttle cables. You basically have this little hex end on the throttle side. So you undo this, you're basically gonna loosen this up. This comes right off, put the new one on. Now the grips that you buy, they do have to be fly-by-wire or throttle-by-wire, whatever you wanna call it, compatible or made for it. I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. And then, as per normal, with the clutch side, this grip is just gonna be glued onto the bars. So all we're gonna do is loosen all this up and then move it over a little bit. Probably gonna have to cut this grip off and then put the new one on. So let's go ahead and start with the throttle side. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna loosen that bolt there and another one right there. Now those are Torx bits, so you want Torx bits. No, that sucks. And make sure you actually seat them properly so it doesn't strip them out. All right, so now we have the bolts removed. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that top housing. Set that to the side. We're gonna have to actually loosen the clamp here. Now this is a different size socket. This is a T27. So the bolts that go here and here are actually smaller than the ones that are here and here. So make sure you have the right Torx bit. So once you have this loose enough, you can pull that notch out of there, right? And then that basically falls downwards and you're able to pull the grip right off. So this is throttle by wire, so all the wiring that basically controls the throttle body goes through the bars on this. As you guys can see, it goes in through there and it goes to this little piece right here. This throttle in here, you can see down in there, it's like geared. So it's got little spots, little teeth, that whenever you put it onto here, it grips it and you're able to pull it back. Your new grips need to have that. So I buy Arlen Ness knurled grips just because I like them, personal preference. Now these are for fly-by-wire, so it says knurled rubber grips, FBW, which means fly-by-wire. And then bras does not mean it comes with bras. That actually is shortened for brass. So I get the brass end caps on these. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these up and install the throttle side. So we got them wrapped up. This is going to be the clutch side or the left side. So it doesn't have any little piece on the top here, that beveled edge. It's gonna lock into the switch housing like the stock one does. And this one also has some super glue in it so that you can glue it to the bars, which we'll get to that here in just a second. Like I was saying, brass ends, just because I like it. Black and gold. If you guys don't follow the channel at all, you should know that I like my bikes black and gold, so that's what we're going for. So I'm gonna open this up and we'll install it. As you guys can see, down in there, there is the teeth that I was talking about, like the gearing or whatever. That will grip. There you go. You can see it right there. So yeah, just confirm it has that, then you're good to go. If your grips have logos on them, like the top on this says Arlen, but you can barely see it. So you just put that to the top, slide on, that's it. And then just retighten everything back up. All right, there you go. Replace the throttle side. Now, very important part here. If you have the housing, like the switch housing and all this stuff, the clamp, too far out, it's going to not catch that gear, and that's dangerous, right? If you have it too far in, it's going to cause friction and basically the throttle won't snap back to the zero throttle position. What I mean by zero throttle position is basically right where it's at right here. So when you start the bike, like there's no throttle. It's not gonna be revving up the engine or anything like that. So basically when you say it snaps back to 0, it's basically like you pull it back, you let it go, and it snaps back right there. Now with fly-by-wire on Harleys, you do have the option, like there's a little wiggle, and you do have the option of actually rolling it forward a little bit, and that actually sends a command to the bike to either turn on or turn off EITMS. So it will roll forward a little bit, but you just want to make sure that whenever you roll back on it, you let it go, that it snaps back to 0 like that. There's not too much wiggle to it. I mean, there's a little tiny bit of play, kind of in and out, not too much, but that is a successful install of the throttle, or the new grip for the throttle side. So next up, we're gonna do the clutch side, which is right here, and it's pretty darn easy. Now, if you do have compressed air, there is the option of using compressed air to get the grip off, but I'm not gonna be doing that because I'm not salvaging the stock grips. So what I'm gonna do is remove this, same as I did on that side, and then we're just gonna cut this grip off and then put the new one on. All right, so you can totally remove it if you want. I've got it loosened up enough and pushed over that I have access to the clutch side grip. So it's pretty stiff on there. It doesn't really have any movement at all. So I'm just gonna cut it off. There are a couple different ways of doing this. If you have compressed air, you can basically blow some compressed air in there, and some people get it off like that. Some people use just like a skinny screwdriver to break the adhesive that's on the inside of here. Like I said, I'm not gonna be reusing these, and they're super cheap to buy. I think they're like 12 bucks for a pair of stock grips or something like that. So don't quote me on that, but they're ridiculous cheap. So yeah, since I'm not gonna be reusing them, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut them off. In which case you do this right here. Kind of follow that same line a couple times, and you can feel it when it's touching metal. Man, these are really on here. Wow, these are probably the most stuck ones I've ever felt thus far. Normally it's like you can do that and they start to peel. All right, be right back. Jesus. There you go. You can see where they had the glue all around it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strip that side clean so that when we install the new grip, it'll go on nicely. All right, so I've got the grip side cleaned off, or the clutch grip side cleaned off. Basically there was just lines of adhesive, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So I just used the box knife or the razor blade and scraped all those off, so it's basically nice and smooth now, but a little bit roughed up so that it should adhere. With the grip that they send you, like I was saying, there is unmarked glue in here. This is essentially super glue, right? So I've used this a couple times. The bad thing about using super glue is that whenever you put it on the bars and you go to slide the grip on, you have one chance at it. So you basically have to like slide it and then bottom it out, and you've got one shot. Because if you like, once you stop, the glue sets and that's it. As an alternative, and I've heard of people doing this all over the place, what I do is I use hairspray. So what that does is whenever you spray it onto the bars and into the end of the grip, it acts as a lubricant, and so it slides on pretty easily. And then you can basically rotate it, you know, pivot it, make sure that your logos are facing upright and stuff, and then it'll dry, and once it dries, it's nice and solid. So that's what I use, just a Aussie Mega Hold hairspray or whatever. It's worked for me for plenty of previous bikes. Kind of a weird thing to have in the shelf in the garage, but I've used it plenty. Pretty much every grip install that I've done, so that's what we're gonna use. All right, and then just make sure your logos are up. Line it up. Make sure you kind of brace this side of the bar. That's it. See, had I done that with super glue, that would have been way more difficult. But like, even at this point, it's still kind of flexible. You know, it hasn't dried yet, so you can still kind of reposition it if you need to. Make sure that it's all the way sat, you know, which it is. That's it. You're good to go. So yeah, you're gonna wanna let that dry. Obviously, Don't get on the bike and crank back on it or use it to like grip really hard. But after that dries, it'll set really well and it won't move at all. And it is removable. That's a cool thing as well. So at this point, you're gonna basically put all this back together and tighten it down. All right, so these have been tightened down. These screws have been tightened down. Make sure that you're using the correct Torx bit in each one of those. So like I said, these are T27. The smaller ones are T25. You don't want to use the T25s and the T27s because as you're tightening down, it will strip out the screw and you don't want that. Make sure you're switching them on and off. So at this point, they have been installed. If you want, you can kind of leave everything loose until the very end. You do need to sit on the bike and then hold the controls and angle them correctly. You can kind of loosely tighten everything, but then at the end, like I said, sit on the bike and make sure that this is the same angle as this. You know, put both hands up and make sure that they're at the same angle. If they're not, you can just loosen these two bolts and you should be able to position them pretty easily and then just retighten them down. Now, a lot of people say to use Loctite on pretty much every screw or bolt on a Harley because they shake. The new Milwaukee 8s, they don't shake as much, but if you want to, you know, throw some Loctite on these, some removable, you know, blue Loctite, it wouldn't hurt. I will drop a link to Loctite that is removable in the description down below. In regards to links, I will drop links to the grips as well, also to the hairspray, to the ratchet sets, to the Torx bolts, basically everything you need to complete this job. The link to that product will be down in the description below. You're gonna wanna just let this dry. So they say like, what, 12 hours or 24 hours or something like that. It should be good. You know, like I'm doing this at night. It's currently like 7 o'clock. So by the time I ride tomorrow around lunch, it should be fine. That's pretty much it. Keep an eye on this on the throttle side. Make sure that it snaps back to 0, continues to snap back to 0. You know, make sure that all the bolts, the screws that you've tightened down aren't loosening up over the next couple rides. I hope this video has been helpful. That is how you install new grips on a Softail, one of the newer Softails. Specifically for this model, it's a 2019 FXDR, and this is fly-by-wire or throttle-by-wire. It doesn't have the throttle cables like I was saying at the beginning, which is so much easier. If you guys do have any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comments below. Just as a disclaimer, be sure to read the disclaimer. But I'm not a certified mechanic, so I'm just a dude who likes to work on his bikes in his garage. I need a bigger garage. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys have friends out there that enjoy motorcycle content, hit that share button as well. And until next time, you guys ride safe out there, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.